Thank you. I will call us to order. Declare that we have a quorum of 3 of 5 members present. First order of business is the approval of the minutes from our prior meeting, July 11th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July 11th.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, and hopefully everyone had a chance to review them, and thank you for the changes, Assessor McCormick. Is there any other discussion or any other changes that need to be made? Hearing none, I'll call it for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. I will now turn it over to our Chief Appraiser, who's going to introduce our newest employee, who I had a chance to talk to a little bit at the summer conference.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I want to introduce our newest employee, Greg Clark. We're not going to hold this against him, but he is from McIntosh County. Just kidding. But he's got a bachelor's of business, and also he came to us with good computer skills. And his last job was at Mitsubishi Power. He had a temporary position there over in Pooler, Georgia. And so we couldn't be more excited to have him in. He's hit the ground running. He just got finished with summer conference, his first summer conference, and he'll start his education career in the fall of this year. So we have big plans for Greg, and we're happy that he seems to like the position and like the duties. So thank you, Greg, for making it easy on us. Yes, sir.
And welcome. We appreciate you taking on. Greg was the newest assessor or newest appraiser at summer conference. So yes, we were very proud of him. Although he picked the wrong the package, but yes, we were very proud of him getting that. So.
Yes. So, all right. Item number 2 is the updated fiscal year 25 organizational chart. I want to give credit to Yolanda Ward. She designed this spreadsheet or this information. So as you can see, it's in the left side of y'all's packet, and just go through pretty basic Board of Assessors with the 5-member board. Myself, Ron Glisson, Chief Appraiser, and then what we've done is for this year we've broken down the positions by Jamie Lane, Deputy Chief Appraisers, which we have 3 of them. First is he handles the island residential and also the non-residential, commercial, industrial, and condos. So Jamie Lane handles that section of it. And then Yolanda Ward handles all the mainland residential, which is a massive undertaking. But she is responsible for that. And then also Nikki Gibson, in her new position as of July 1st, she is responsible for all the personal property as well as customer service and also the special projects and pre-built mobile homes that fall under personal property. So I like the setup how this is, and we've got a lot of a great staff with supervisors. Sean Chapman handles under Jamie Lane handles the island residential, and he's the commercial supervisor as well. And then Jamie Comer, who's our systems administrator, is under Mr. Lane as well. So, and then we move to the mainland, where we have Brandy O'Neill is the mainland residential supervisor. And then we also have 2 appraisers, 2 appraiser 1s, and also 1 appraiser 3 there. And moving on to personal property, Darlene Hyman is under Nikki Gibson. And then our customer service and admin tech 1s are Judy Carter, Lynn Lismore, Gail Nettles. And then special projects in the pre-built mobile homes, Martin McCormick has been handling the special projects, and Lisa Bunkley is the pre-built mobile home appraiser. So I like the way this is structured, but if there's any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them. I would like to incorporate fiscal year 25-26. I'd like to incorporate a personal property supervisor under Nikki would be our next goal, but we'll cross that path when we get there. But this is as we stand here today, this is the current organizational chart.
And if my math is correct, we have 21 employees, one of which is part-time, correct?
We have 21 full-time employees, no part-time.
You're considered full-time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So,
all right.
but,
I thought you were on a part-time basis. I apologize.
yeah.
All right.
Pretty light, chief items, but if there's any questions, I'll take a shot at trying to answer them.
No, I think this is well done, and I think it all looks good.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right,
Yes,
thank you. All right, next item is our consent agenda, which we have 2 items for approval. Hopefully everyone received Arian's latest email with the additional items to be forwarded to BOE with no change. There were quite a few. And what was our final total on appeals? It was like right at 1,100?
Yeah, roughly, approximately 1,100.
Yeah, and so basically we got 384 going out of those in this package,
Yeah.
so.
Can I make one quick comment on the three?
Certainly.
Mr. Chairman? Just as a point of note, the 173 through 196, I was just readjusting the numbers. I had the 722 edition, I didn't get the 724 just yet. 173 through 196 and 291 through 326. So we're talking 30 and another 24, well over 50. Our developers just put in the appeal. I file appeals, I'm a developer, I file them every year. So I'm just thinking that the resolution that's coming out in November is trying to tone down this kind of activity.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I think that is good, that we will hopefully have that in place. I noticed that there are several, it's not just those, there are several others that are, I guess, corporations that own multiple houses and they're renting the houses currently. And so obviously they're just trying to decrease their valuation as much as possible for those tax savings. But there are several corporations now that own multiple residences in the area, and they're using them solely as income-producing properties. So,
And a quick review of the values, they're not going to make any progress in DOE. It's honest, my opinion, it has to be appealed, but these are Brandy's, Saddlebrook, Grayfield Villas,
Bottoms
they're
Run.
not coming down yet. Bottom's Ridge.
But strategic appeals nonetheless to get the current plus 2-year lock.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So. All right, is there any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, motion to approve consent agenda items 1 and 2 is presented by staff for real and personal property.
A second.
All right, we have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, that is unanimous. Moving on, old business. I did have a chance to interact with the True Roll folks at summer conference this week. They eased some of my questions, and I believe Aaron Mumford has a contract now being reviewed that will hopefully have the wording that we can all be agreeable to. At this point, I say we move forward with True Roll. I don't think there's really any risk to the county. If the most that we'll have to pay for the software is what is recovered in taxation. So, I mean, to me, it's at this point a no-brainer, assuming that the contract can be written, which is agreeable to this group as well as the county commissioners and our county attorney. And obviously, it has to go through approval with the Finance Committee. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to move forward in pushing through for the True Roll software purchase, and again, with the contention that, or with the agreement that the wording of the contract will be agreeable to our county attorney.
Mr. Chairman, I motion we move forward with the True Roll Homestead software with the contingents that it's approved by the county attorney, and we present it to finance for their approval.
I'll second that.
All right, is there any other discussion? Does anyone have any other comments? One of the items that was concerning to me is entering into a 3-year contract, but they seem to think that, you know, if we're able to identify, you know, 3% of the homesteads in the first year, we'll still be able to do up to 1% in subsequent years because of people moving and failing to remove homesteads and that sort of thing that may keep their house as a rental property but have moved on. And so they feel like, you know, the return on investment will remain there. So that was pretty good. And I did get to see how it works, and it's pretty impressive. And they have quite a few data points that they use that obviously we don't have the ability to develop that type of software or even, you know, identify a fraction of that number of data points. So,
Just a comment for those in the audience, the presentation at summer conference, GWO summer conference, was it Gordon County? Ashley Bailey, chief
Yeah,
there?
Gordon County.
It's a lesser, I shouldn't say it's a fine county, but it's not quite Glenn County. As smaller parcel count, of course, and in my discussions with him, when he realized we were Glenn with oceanfront, a lot of second homes, he goes, you know, it's, again, as you mentioned, no-brainer. Because they've had great success just in their central inland county with less parcel count
right,
and less propensity for homestead violations.
right. And again, I mean, talking about Gordon County, they identified almost 300 violations, and they weren't able to work through all of them in the first year. So this could be a multi-year project, as I see it. So, all right. Do you have anything?
I do not.
All right. I will call it for a vote. All those in favor of moving forward, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. That is approved. Next on the agenda is the item chairman, board member items, new business. Does anyone have anything to bring before this group today?
I just have a follow-up comment on the GWO summer conference. For those who kept their eyes open, ears open, and look towards the future, some of the upscale vendors there, it's easy to see where the future's going, particularly in real property.
AI.
And AVMs. AVMs to start. And Jeff and I are both fee appraisers in the private world, and when you see the financial world going to automated valuation models, it won't be long before certain counties do. Now, a lot of counties aren't ready for the future, but eventually it will come. But you mentioned AI. I think when we get down the road and take our Tyler Enterprise Assessment and Tax training wheels off, we'll be looking at C3 AI for sure.
Right. Which is a little scary because it could be a reduction to your staff. And so, I mean, people's job security is always probably going to be a question in some people's mind, but I don't think we're there yet. But you're going to be replacing costs with software over people. And so I don't know that's necessarily a cost savings to a county, but I do think that the movement is towards AI and more automated type information. And it's a little scary.
There's other functions to be accomplished, though. There'll be less pulling of tape.
Right.
But
Right.
measuring houses, and you just get better at it.
Yeah.
And it's fair for all the citizens.
Well, you know, they have ways now where you just walk through with yourself, hold your cell phone up and walk through a house, and it diagrams the house. So there is that software out there already. So pulling a tape is kind of a thing of the past, as I see it.
Although it also helps management. You know, management here might say, well, I feel we need extra effort in this area, or our ratios kind of imply we need help in that area. You'll have a dashboard and you'll know where your weak areas are and where your in code areas are. It doesn't lie. It doesn't have emotion.
Right. Question for you.
Sure.
You're dealing with billboards.
Yes.
I mean, obviously.
We like to call it roadside advertising.
Roadside
Yes.
advertising, okay. Have you seen quite a few appeals?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
I've had phone calls and
Yeah.
inquiries like, how come and why? And I tried very diplomatically explained why and how. And everyone just wants to know they're being treated the same as the other guy.
Yep.
Even the small guys. Now, I thought the biggest sparks might come from the biggest guys. That is yet to materialize.
Okay.
They know it's been wrong.
I can't speak for them, but
Well, we appreciate your hard work on that. Airplanes, not so much.
No, the people still, it's amazing. It's
They
amazing. I showed the ladies in the front office today, the $6 million, if you bought it new, it's a $6 million jet. VREF, the Blue Book for Aircraft, says it's a $1.5 million jet. Now again, this particular owner did not file a return, so we have no data on hours, total time airframe we call it, or anything about the engines. So we have to use VREF averages. Average for this plane of this age, make, model year is this. So it's down to like $1.5 million, which is, we had it $1.45 million. And their appeal, they didn't file a return, but they got a notice, because we roll a notice over, comes back and says it's only worth $500,000. Now, certain firms have pictures of all these jets. It's beautiful interior, it's fine, it's flying, it's doing great, so what makes you think it's worth 1/3 the value of what the, I mean, if you went to get a loan on the plane, they would go to VREF. You went to the National Association of Aviation Bankers, they would go to VREF. So if you're gonna say it's something different, you gotta tell us why it's different. Otherwise, it's average.
And how about boats?
Still working boats, we work through the 2022 DNR schedule. We'll get through the 2024 schedule, but that's interesting, and this is for the benefit of the people here. If you or I go out and buy a boat, a Carolina skiff or a Boston whaler, a little 100 horsepower and do some fishing, we'll go to DNR, get our GA number. And if we have a trailer, we'll go to see Jeff Chapman, get a tag for our trailer. That's fine. Now, if we have a rather large boat, over 5 tons, with a galley and sleeping quarters, we don't do that. That would become a federally documented vessel, which several across the street. They roughly range, they start in 6 digits and up and up and up and up and up. Now, they're still subject to CITES here in Glen, over 184 days for watercraft. I've been dealing with the Coast Guard to get this information. They suggested I file a Freedom of Information Act request. But if it's a federally documented vessel and the home port is Brunswick, I think that access should be available to us. My next step is to go to the captain of the port, which is based in Savannah. That role changes every couple of years, but we'll get to it. But I do want the federally documented vessels. I have other comments on that, but not appropriate at this time.
Okay. Well, the last thing I'll say about the GAO conference that I took away were the First Amendment auditors that will come into places like the tax assessor's office and try to stir up the employees. You said they have come to Glenn County before?
Yeah.
So, I mean, has everybody been trained on how to
Yeah,
handle?
we had a staff meeting and talked about what to do, what rights we have. Just let them conduct their business, answer the initial questions, and then go about your duties.
Right. Well, I think it's a good opportunity for us, since we will be taking over the customer service area,
Yes.
to have that designated as the public space,
Right.
and then have the space where you're currently located more as a invitation only.
Yeah.
And put the proper signage up.
Yeah. What we'll do is, like we've got it now, is authorized personnel only, and then we'll just move that to the door, the newly created door.
Right.
And then we'll have the signage there, and then we'll have the signage in the front, saying property appraisal office, homestead applications here.
Right, but I think you can avoid a lot of problems with those folks if they do
Yeah,
come.
the
in.
signage, yeah,
It
no
is the
doubt.
signage, and designated that space is kind of off limits without, an invite, so. All right, is there any other?
So on that topic, maybe when we do get that area up front with the glass window, just post some refresher rules on the wall.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
if we rotate staff in and out. Your training on that predates my arrival.
Yeah.
But I was exposed to it over at Local Emergency Planning Committee. They came in with cameras and everything, and whoa, and you go,
Yeah.
these are just good citizens trying to do good things. Why,
Right.
what kind of malintent do you think this
Yeah.
committee has?
It was, they agitated, and it was mishandled.
Yeah, well,
But-
I'm saying you're more prone than others. Taxes
Right,
and school
yeah.
board children and taxes are very
Right.
sensitive issues.
But they got the YouTube clicks, which equates to money, so they were successful at some level with that
And
organization.
that's what they talked about in the class. I think you were taking your test at that time when that class was going on, so. All right, is there any other new business to be brought forward? Does anyone have a need for an executive session? Hearing none, I'll bring us to the best part of our meeting, and the quickest one we've had in a while. I'll declare us adjourned. Thank you.